welcome to another installment of the Fragments of Silicon Reviews. 3 reviews, 1 impression video this week. It's always a bit awkward when we have that, but sometimes we get early access stuff. We're starting things with a game called the UnderGarden. The UnderGarden is a casual Zen game that challenges players to explore beautiful underground caverns filled with strange life forms, sound, music, and plenty of hidden secrets. Casual gamers with an affinity towards puzzle games will enjoy the UnderGarden's modern exploration quest filled with brain-teasing games that combine state-of-the-art 3D rendering and physics-based puzzles. Players traverse a large underground world in search of members of their musical band. The goal is to bring them together and lead them to the surface. Along the way, players will encounter puzzles that must be solved and strange life forms that must be befriended or avoided. Provides a truly visceral and relaxing gameplay. Those 2 words don't go together. Experience that gamers will enjoy as a contrast to the frenzied action of the most popular core titles. So, yeah. This game is what I like to call a side-scrolling swimmer game. They're not all that.
You mean like
common.
Echo the Dolphin?
That would be one of them. It's like, there was a tendency, especially in the 90s, to call everything that was side view platformers, or at least most everything. But here's the thing. No, it's not a platformer. There's no platforming. There's no jumping. You're under fucking water. Now, even when platforming mascots go underwater, they don't jump, typically. Unless they're a Starfy. Even then. Point is, this is a side view game where, you are puzzling out things. Ostensibly. I'll be honest, this game isn't much of a puzzle game either. It's like, the puzzles are basically, grow the fruit, what Petty's demonstrating right now. Grow the fruit, get the fruit, put it on put it on this thing and advance. It's usually not this hard. But the main
wasn't very well illustrated as something I could interact with.
Yeah, you need to drop 4 those fruits and it'll open the gate. And then next up, it'll task you to do that in reverse. Or the inverse, actually. There will be plants that will float. You gotta put it in the curved float rock. Yeah, to wit. But he's also demonstrating the main mechanic here, that is gathering the pollen in order to wake up all the plant life. That's really what you're going to be doing 90% of the time. And you have a limited amount of pollen, and you can refresh it. You don't need those. You don't need the yellow fruits anymore. You need the blue fruits.
Blue fruits? Oh, I can go up.
Yes.
I did not know I could go up again. Fucking. I'm feeling like a kid's game on the internet. What the fuck?
I wouldn't call it a kid's game. It's a casual game. Kids can definitely play it. But I'll be honest, I think they will get very bored very quickly. I'll be honest, that's what happened to me ultimately. And yeah, here's the other variant of the main puzzle right here. And surprisingly, you don't really have to carry the musicians around.
Oh, I was figuring you would, you know.
You'd think that, but I kept leaving them, and I'm not sure if I actually got penalized or anything. I mean, that's kind of the issue when you keep things super casual. I mean, that isn't to say that there isn't anything to do in this game. Like, you are scored on how many runes you find and how much fauna you wake up. Yeah, like, I'm not sure. Like, yeah, I'm not sure if you can bring the musicians into the portal there.
Hmm.
Yeah. And here's the thing. This is basically what you're doing the entire game. And that's ultimately why I got bored with it. Because, you know, the same thing you're doing here is about the same thing you're doing a few levels ahead. You know, it's like there's a bit of variation with, say, currents that may block your path, and you got to figure out how, and, you know, you got this, which is, you know, drop the fruit, I guess. I'm not exactly sure what these things are, but, you know, it's once again pressure plate stuff. And, you know, like, there's the occasional enemy to avoid. There's, like, negative pollen later on, which will drain your pollen meter, and you have to avoid it. But ultimately, you know, what you're doing right now is what you're doing throughout the entire game. Which, on the one hand, I get, you know, because this game has positioned itself as being a super casual experience, you know, a Zen-like experience, you know, not quite into veering into the territory of, is this really a game? Kind of, you know, one of those debates.
There is clearly game here.
Yeah. I'm like, it's, you know, it's really simple stuff. As you said, Petty, you thought it was a kid's game. And, well, not technically true. It is rated E for everyone, and, you know, it's definitely something that little kids can enjoy.
Yeah. It's definitely one of those. I would not have been shocked if, you know, we handed this to my, you know, niece when she was, you know, under 5.
I'm like, my youngest nephew might like this. I think my older nephew and niece would get pretty bored with it.
Mm-hmm. Kind of similar. My niece is going to be 13 this year. I don't think now she'd be very into it. But like her like, you know, 5 or 6 years ago probably would have went for this.
Yeah, this is like this is almost a game that PopCap would have released around this time.
Oh yeah.
You know, really the only difference is the graphical styling, because, you know, PopCap went with 2D affairs, and this is, you know, this is the downloadable cheapo 3D of the, you know, Xbox Live Arcade, PlayStation Network heyday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's got the same kind of color scheme as well, though that is clearly to highlight the you know, the glowing fauna. Mm-hmm. Plus, you know, you're going through a lot of undersea caves. The game controls well enough, though I will say it was a bit more finicky than other games that I played, like Beat Buddy or Glowfish. Not quite as smooth. It might be something to do with the 3D. I'm not exactly sure. Like, it's not a huge thing, Also, the the slingshot ability is also a bit hard to do, at least on a mouse and keyboard. Like, I'm not sure what was up with that.
Mm. But yeah, this is a game.
Yeah.
This is a game of all time.
Yeah. The music is soothing as you'd expect. It's honestly not all that impressive for something that's quasi-music based. I honestly think the music in Beat Buddy was also better. But, that was more rhythmic. Anyway, so pricing. Let me see here. The game clocks in at $6.99. I'm trying to think if you can, still get this on consoles, because it's still on Steam.
Yeah, I was about to say, this was, I'm guessing, Xbox?
It was Xbox Live Arcade and PlayStation Network.
Yeah,
PS3, PlayStation Network. So, presumably you can still get it on the PlayStation Network. It's from what I've been hearing, you can still buy things on the Xbox Live Arcade, but it is really hard to do anything on the Xbox 360 store now. And keep in mind, it's about to shut down permanently.
This summer, yes.
Yeah. Not sure if this game has backwards compatibility.
You can probably... I don't have my Xbox One on me, but if you just go search it on the Xbox store, if it doesn't show up, that means it's not backwards compatible.
I suppose the important thing is it is available on Steam.
Mm-hmm. So it is preserved.
And purchasable.
Yes.
As far as the price... Yeah, I think it's going for the price it should be going for. $6.99. I mean, I'm trying to think if this... I'm imagining that this game launched at $10. Honestly, going by old digital download store pricing, this is really weird. I mean, especially, Xbox points and shit like that.
Yeah, this would have been an 800-point game easy.
Mm-hmm. So, it's actually a little less than that. Granted, we are talking about a game that is verging on 15 years. Still, It is in the single digits. Like I said, it's okay. It's fine. It's honestly a game I'm surprised that has survived to the present day. It feels like something that should have gotten swirled up in Atari's numerous financial problems and bankruptcy and all that. And I guess it did, since it was owned by a different company for a while. But it is actually in the hands of Atari now.
Right.
It's just, anyway. But, yeah. It's a perfectly cromulent game, just not a very memorable one. Honestly, if you want to play a game like this, but better, I'd suggest going and buying Glowfish. Anyway, so yeah, that'll about do it for the UnderGarden. Be sure to tune in after the break, as Petty Fan will be providing his impressions of Nuke Them All.